And the American people are paying for it, and the Europeans. And in fact, you've got this Copenhagen Agreement coming up. You've got this green gas tax or whatever it's called, which is a total scam and a fraud. And they want to tax Americans an additional 25% and distribute the money among the third world. Mm-hmm. Now, does that sound like communism to you?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where this is all headed. So to answer your question, we need tariffs, and we need them now. We're not going to get them. The only way we're going to get them is to change the government.
Oh, well.
Simple. And if you're unwilling to do it, you're going to live on your knees.
I agree.
From one internment camp to the next.
Yes.
You'll be told who you can marry, who you can breed with, if you can breed, where your children will go to school, where you'll work, where your wife will work, and on and on and on. Total control of your life. And that's what they want, because they know better what's good for you than you do.
Right. Here's something I was going to bring up to you. Last week I was sitting there and we were doing a show with Justine Sue, and that morning I was watching TV. I was down in the hotel lobby because I'm out of town, and I'm watching on the TV how they were trying to pass a bill they were going to have the ability to send a letter to your neighbor to let them know if you voted or not. So this tell on each other thing is coming. It's coming down the road here really quick.
Well, take a look at England. I mean, if you're reading the Forecaster, read the section on England. It's enough to make you puke.
Yeah.
And, of course, they have no guns, so they can't defend themselves.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, well, we're lucky we got them. And if they try to take them away, you don't turn them in. You use them on them. That's what you do. And if you don't use them on them, they're going to kill you anyway.
Right. Right, so you might as well get it done.
So what?
Well, you know, it sounds terrible, but it's something that these people would do.
Now, they were talking today, Geithner said today, I believe, that they were looking to China to work out the new consumer hotspot in the world. They were talking about them taking it over from the United States. Is that a possibility, first of all, and second of all, why wouldn't they, if they're American politicians, why wouldn't they be looking to the United States as a resurgence instead of trying to go foreign, because they know the game's over?
Well, because they're all members of the Illuminati, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberger Group. They want world government. That's what this thing was all about. Right. That's why they created this monster, this credit crisis, this depression that we're in, the collapse that they're planning, and they've done it hundreds of times for the last 1,000 years. Right. This is nothing new. Americans are ignorant. They don't have a clue of what's going on in history. So how can they make any kind of a decision to start off with? And if they don't listen, they're not going to know, and they'll be just herded around like sheep or cattle.
So,
well, let's hope that don't happen.
No, I hope that doesn't happen. Well, Bob, you were talking about possibly civil unrest or possibly even a civil war in the United States happening.
Not civil war. Revolution is a big difference.
Okay, revolution terminology, revolution terminology. How would that ever be done? I mean, would it be something that would be localized around the government, or would it be in the streets of every city? Or, I mean, how would that transpire in the United States, countries?
Oh, I think it's pretty easy. 10 people get together with AR-15s and decide that they're going to go in the State House and drill the people in there, or in Washington, and they just walk in and kill them all. And that'll start it. I mean, there's nothing difficult about that. I mean, maybe they'll get killed, but they don't care. They don't have a job. Their family's starving.
Right. It's a pretty straightforward approach, and I do believe it would make a good point.
I mean, look what happened in Fort Hood today. I mean, I don't know who did what to whom. I just know that a lot of people are dead. I don't know why, but those things can happen.
Right.
Of course, you don't do them in a military base unless you're insane. There's all kinds of other ways you can do it. Anybody can kill anybody at any time.
Right.
They may give their life to do it, but they'll make their point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see all these guards running around with the president. I mean, it's laughable.
Oh, it's getting ridiculous. Every day I see something stupider and stupider on the news. I just can't believe it. I can't. I get up and walk out of the room. It's so dumb.
How do you prepare for something like this, though? I mean, how does an average guy? What would he do right now if you gave him, say, this is coming? How am I going to prepare to take care of my family and my friends?
Well, I think that's pretty simple. First of all, you should be concerned that you might get laid off. So the thing that is most important to you is feeding your family. Mm-hmm. So you get freeze-dried and dehydrated foods. You get a water filter. You take the Cosmoline off your ARs and AKs. Make sure you get 1,000 rounds for each weapon and 10 30-shot clips. And that's where you start.
Right. That is a good start, though.
Yeah, that's a good start.
So,
I mean, my family's got all that. I mean, that's normal. For anybody who understands what's going on, you can't trust your government. They're the enemy. Both parties. It has, nothing to do with parties. It's people behind government, the bureaucrats. I mean, look what happened in the last election. We got a new president. It was a seamless change. Team A replaced Team B. Now, where did they all come from, these bureaucrats? They came from the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, and the Bilderbergers.
Right.
No, does it get any simpler than that?
Right. They just got a new face, a new puppet, is what they really got. Just a new puppet. So, I was going to ask you a question. We had a show on 2 weeks ago, which we did live from a gun store here in Virginia, and we had on Rachel Parsons from the NRA, and it was a really good show. And she was telling us about some things about a mayor in New York that's actually kind of stretching his wings a little bit, and he's going down into states, and he's trying to promote gun control. How does he get away with this? I don't get it.
Well, he can do anything he wants.
Right.
I mean, if he wants to tell people there should be gun control, that's his thought, his business. Why does he do what he does? Because he belongs to those groups.
Right.
It's part of the Illuminati cult. And it exists.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree.
And more people every day are realizing that this group of people exists, and they are doing these things. And the proof of it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that Mr. Bloomberg began as an illuminated one. Of course he didn't. He got very successful, and he said, hey, look, we'll make you even more successful, put you at the pinnacle. All you have to do is join our gang.
Right.
And he says, okay, I'll do that.
Right. And then, of course, you stepped right up to the plate. Sure. So, I don't know. It's getting crazy here. Getting really nuts. 1 second here. I lost my place. This is not good. We're just talking about...
Go ahead, guy.
Here we go. What's going to be next here? With our local governments, are they going to start running things? Are they going to start stepping up to the plate more and fighting gun control and fighting people control, or is it going to be the more of the big government coming down on top of the people? Well,
I think they like to do things incrementally if they can. But, it's only a matter of time before they make a strenuous effort at gun control. And I don't think they'll be successful. And even if they do try to take weapons, they'll get about 25% of them. Mm-hmm. And there's too many people around like me who bought guns in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. They're not registered.
Right. Right. And
there's no way to trace them. You know, I get enough weapons to arm probably a battalion. And you know, if that's what they want, that's what they'll get. But I've seen this coming for a long time. I'm exceptional.
Right. But let's kind of move into you kind of touched on the CO2 thing or the new green credit thing. How do you think the wind industry and the energy industry is going to help these people, you know, move forward with their major plan? Are they going to start cutting our power off? Are they going to raise our rates so we can't afford it, or how's that going to work? And will wind energy and renewable sources help offset that, or will it harm us in the long run?